Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now, inshallah, I'm going to be going through a book titled Qaidatunuraniyah. And inshallah, this is a book that teaches beginners who don't know any Arabic how to read the Quran from the alif, ba, ta, to joining letters, and then learning simple types of punctuation, all the way up to being able to join words such as these, and then all the way up to being able to read the Quran. So inshallah, anyone who opens up a Quran and doesn't know what they're looking at or how to read it, inshallah I'll be able to take you from saying a few letters to being able to read entire pages, inshallah. This is going to include simple punctuation, but I will not be going through advanced punctuation. So this is for anyone who wants to start their journey on being able to read what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent down in the Holy Quran by themselves without any help, inshallah. We all need to have a strong connection to the book of Allah, and that starts with being able to read the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is in Arabic. And slowly, inshallah, if you work hard enough, you'll be able to understand what you're reading with more practice and more study, inshallah. Inshallah, I have taken the time to scan the entire book, and I'll attach a link for you to download the book yourself and to follow along either on your computer, phone, or print it out, inshallah, and work with me at the same pace with it in front of you, inshallah. So, the book starts with a few statements. One says from the Quran, وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. Say, O Allah, increase me in knowledge. And here we have another statement from the hadith. It says, قال رسول الله, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, سَلُوا اللَّهَ عِلْمًا نَافِعًا وَتَعُوذُوا بِاللَّهِ مِنْ عِلْمٍ لَا يَنْفَعُ. Ask Allah for beneficial knowledge and seek refuge in Allah from knowledge that does not benefit. Now, inshallah, we'll start with the first lesson. I hope everyone gets a notebook so that they can write with and follow along with me. Okay, inshallah, if everyone has their notebook ready, we can start. Bismillah. I'll be using English to express the sounds of various letters. So, the first letter is Alif. It's a straight line from top to bottom. Alif, let's write it. A-L-I-F. Alif. Alif. Now, the second letter is Ba. Ba has one dot below the line. So let's write Ba, B-A. Next we have Ta, two dots above the line. T-A. Ta. Alif, Ba, Ta. Next is Tha, T-H-A. Tha. Alif, Ba, Ta, Tha. Next is Jim, Jim. Next is Ha, and Ha, there's no equivalent sound in English, so let's just put this little thing to express that it sounds like Ha, but it's deeper, stronger. Ha, Ha. Next, we have Kha, Kha, so Kha, Kha. Next is Dal, Dal, Dal. Next is Val, Val, Val. Ra is the next letter, R, A, Ra. Z, A, Za. So Jim, Ha, Kha, Dal, Val, Ra, Za. Next we have Sin, Sin, Sin. Next is three dots is Shin, Shin. So Sin, Shin. Next we have Sod, Sod. Next is Dod, Dod, and Sod, Sod. Next is Ta, so Toh, Ta. Next is Va, Voh, Va. So let's repeat from here. Ra, Za, Sin, Shin, Sad, Dad, Ta, Va. Next we have Ain. There's no equivalent to A in English, so let's just put a line under the A. A-I-I-N. Ain, Ain. This probably is one of the most difficult letters for English speakers to say. So with practice, inshallah, you'll be able to say it. Ain, Ain. Next we have Ghain, Ghain, Ghoin. It doesn't sound like an English word, so let's just put an underline to show that it's different. Ghain, Ghain. Next we have Fa, F-A, Fa. Next we have Qaf, Q-O-F, Qaf. Next is Kaf, K-A-F, Kaf. Next is Lam. 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 Next is Mim. 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 So let's repeat again from Sad, Dad, Ta, Dha, Ain, Ghain, Fa, Qaf, Kaf, Lam, Mim. Next we have Noon. 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 Next is Wow. 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 Next is Ha. Ha. So don't confuse Ha with Ha. You can hear the difference. So Ha is like a normal hat. Ha. When you say the word hat. Ha. And this is Ha. It sounds a bit different. Ha. Next is Hamza. Hamza and Alif, they go hand in hand in many places. Also, Hamza can be found on top of a waw, and it can also be found on top of the letter Ya. Hamza takes over the letter that it is on top of. So it can be found by itself, it can be found on top of a Ya, it can be found on top of a waw, it can be found on top of a alif, and it gives it its sound of A. So Hamza, next letter was Ya, and as part of this book they include a second form of the letter Ya. It's just a different way to write it. You could say a bit more fancy, but it's the same letter. So let's go over everything again. Alif, Ba, Ta, Tha, Jim, Ha, Kha, Dal, Dhal, Ra, Za, Sin, Shin, Sad, Dad, Ta, Dha, Ain, Ghain, Fa, Qaf, Kaf, Lam, Mim, Noon, Wow, Ha, Hamza, Ya. Now that's the end of the first lesson in this book. What I would like for everyone to do, inshallah, may Allah make it easy on you, is to try and memorize this. So please go over it over and over until you memorize it. Write out the alphabet over and over. And what I think can help as well is to write it backwards, from Ya back to Alif, and write it again from Alif back to Ya, and mix it up. Go line by line, repeat the lines, write them backwards, same backwards, until you can say each letter. And inshallah, maybe if you can, try to get someone to test you on the letters, write them down when they say them, or listen to this recording and try to write down the letters as I say them. After I say them, try to write them down and test yourself, inshallah, and bi'idhnillah, you'll be able to memorize the Arabic alphabet. Jazakumullah khairan, may Allah make it easy on you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inshallah, today's lesson will be continuing on from the last lesson on your journey to learn how to read the Holy Quran, inshallah. We're going to use this as a guide to be able to read letters that are joined. And notice that in Arabic, when letters start to become joined, they change shape. So they no longer look like the general alphabet letters in most cases when they're joined with other letters. So first, without going further ahead, we're going to go over the way the letters change in a sentence. So first, I want everyone to get out their notebooks, inshallah, and follow along. Now we're going to go over the letters again. Let's go back to the previous page, and we have our letters in front of us. Now Arabic, it splits the letters up in different segments. So let's say the standalone letter, standalone. This is how each letter looks as a standalone, by itself, outside of a sentence or outside of a word. Now we have the beginning, we have the middle, and we have the end of a word. Now, why am I writing from right to left? Because Arabic is written from right to left. So let's start. The beginning of a word, alif will look like an alif, normal. Now in the middle of a word, alif will be connected. Let's say this is the connection, and then alif will look like that. But alif cannot connect to the next word. So let's say the next word starts here, alif does not connect. Now, the end of a word, alif will also look the same. It will look like that. It will be connected to another letter. Let's say, as an example, it will be connected to a lam. So lam and alif. Lam can connect to a next letter, alif cannot. But when lam and alif are written together, they're written in a fancy way. You'll see them like this. You can also see a lam alif written like this. Okay, inshallah, next we have ba. Ba at the beginning of a letter of a word will look like ba. Next, in the middle, it's connected, and here, one line up, one dot below. That's how it looks, ba. Connection after and connection before. And at the end, ba will look like its normal form, but with a connection bit before. Next we have ta. Ta is pretty much the same. Two dots above and connection after. In the middle, two dots above the line, and at the end, two dots above the line, and its normal form with a connection. Now we have tha. Same thing. Three dots, tha. Next we have jim. Jim at the beginning of a word, it will look like this. Jim in the middle of a word will look like this. Let's say the letter comes from here, jim will look like that. Or another way it can look, as an example, is like this. Okay. Next, at the end of a letter of a word, it goes like this. Its normal form. Now, next is ha. Same thing. Ha. Just the top part of the letter. So you cut off the hook. So let's try that again. Ha. Next, in the middle of a word, ha. At the end, ha. Next, kha. Same thing. Okay. Next we have dal. Dal at the beginning, dal in the middle, and it can't connect to the next letter, just like alif can't connect to the next letter. Dal, and then at the end it looks like the same as the middle, dal and dal. Dal is the same thing, it cannot connect to a letter that comes after it. Oh. Okay, now ra is the exact same thing as well. It connects before, but it cannot connect after. It cannot connect to another word after. So you have to separate ra, you have to separate dal, you have to separate dal, you have to separate alif, and you have to separate za from the next word. You cannot connect it. It must be separate. Za. Now after za is sin. Sin at the beginning, sin in the middle, and sin at the end. Next we have shin. Same thing. 1, 2, 3. In the middle. 1, 2, 3. And at the end. 1, 2, 3. Now after that we have sod. I missed something. There's a little hook after the circle. It's the same with dod here. It goes up a small bit and then continues. So same with sod and dod. In the middle of the sentence it will look like this. Dod will look like this. At the end, sod. At the end, dod. Next we have ta. At the beginning it just continues to the next letter. In the middle it connects before and it connects after, and at the end it will look like that. Va is the same thing. Next we have ayn. Ayn at the beginning of a sentence, you cut off the hook. It just starts like this. Ayn, and the ghayn is the same thing with a dot. In the middle it will look like an upside down triangle. Ayn. And in the middle a ghayn will look like an upside down triangle with a dot. At the end it keeps the upside down triangle, but it gets the curve back. This ghayn has a dot. So ayn, ghayn. Fa at the beginning of a sentence loses the hook as well. In the middle it's a circle with a dot, and at the end it gets the whole letter back. Qaf, exactly the same thing. Now be careful. Qaf and fa are circle above the line. Ayn and ghayn are an upside down triangle above the line. Try not to confuse them. And qaf at the end of a sentence will look like that. Kaf at the beginning of a sentence looks like this. So let's write that again. Kaf at the beginning of a sentence. Okay, kaf in the middle of a sentence will look like this as well. And kaf at the end of a sentence will look like its original form. Lam at the beginning will look like this. Lam in the middle will look like this. And lam at the end will look like this. Next page. Mim. Mim at the beginning of a sentence. Mim in the middle is a circle below the line. So it kind of wraps around. I'll do it again. Below the line and go back again. One more time. Okay, mim. A mim at the end of a sentence can either look like this, or it can look like this. So you usually see the mim at the end of a sentence look like this, basically. Okay, noon at the beginning of a sentence will look like that. In the middle, just like the ba and the ta and the tha, it will be the same thing. The same sequence. Now, waw, beginning of a sentence, it does not connect to the next letter. Waw in the middle of a sentence, it can connect it from behind, but it cannot connect to the next letter. Just like alif, ra, za, dal, dhal, waw, all the same rule. And at the end of the sentence, there we go. Ha, at the beginning of a sentence, it looks very different. So let's write that again. So, ha at the beginning of a sentence, I'll write it one more time. It looks like a circle within a circle, and then it goes out. Ha in the middle of a sentence, there's two ways to write it. So first is like an 8, and then it continues. And second is a V, and it continues. So let's do that again. The 8, line, circle above, circle below, and continue. And next, at the end of a sentence, a ha will look like this. So again, that's a ha. Alright, the recording cut out, so I'm gonna have to go over a couple things. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so alright, inshallah. So Hamza can be seen on top of other letters. It can be seen on top of a alif, a waw, and a ya, just like this. Hamza at the beginning of a sentence can look like this. Hamza in the middle of a sentence will be on top of a little line, just like a ba, a ta. And at the end of a sentence, it will be standing by itself, or it could be on top of another letter. A ya is just like a ta, but it's below the line. So here, this is a ya, this is a ta. Okay, ya in the middle of a sentence, 2 dots below the line, and ya at the end of a sentence, or another way to write it was like this, at the end of a sentence. Also, I forgot to mention that a ta has multiple forms at the end of a sentence. So, the ta can also be written as a ta marbuta by itself. So, a circle like a ha, but with 2 dots. And at the end of a sentence, a line like this. Just like a ha can also be written like that. Ha, ta. Ha, ta. Alright, inshallah, now we can start reading different letters as they look in a word. Alright, inshallah, the second lesson. Now that you've seen how letters change depending on what part of the word they're in, let's start reading these different words. As an example, what letters can you see? So, alif, lam alif, lam alif, ba alif, lam alif, lam, lam alif, lam jim, lam alif, ba lam ba, kaf, kaf, kaf ba, kaf ta, kaf alif, kaf lam, ba kaf ta, ta kaf tha, ba ta ثا نون يا با ألف نون ألف تا ألف يا ألف ثا ألف با سين يا سين نون صاد تا ضاد ثا طا ثا جيم تا حا تا حا يا حا با جيم يا ميم با ميم نون ميم تا ميم ثا ميم با يا يا نون يا تا يا ثا يا نون با لام با نون لام تا نون لام يا تا لام يا ثا لام نون با نون با نون نون تا يا نون يا ثا نون با ثا نون جيم حا خا حا ثا خا با جيم تا تا حا تا يا جيم با با خا تا تا ها با تا يا ها تا تا نون ها ها يا ها با با ها ألف با ها ميم دال ذال جيم دال خا ذا را زا را جيم را خا زا يا را تا زا سين شين شين لام سين لام صاد ضاد طه ظه صاد با طا با ضاد ألف ظا ألف عين غين عين جيم غين حا با عين يا غين با عين دال تا غين ذال فا قاف واو قاف لام فا واو قاف واو نون قاف را يا فا را يا فا فا يا ها ميم نون ها تا ميم تا همزة 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 سين همزة لام ميم نون ألف. Inshallah, you can go over this and make sure you understand how different letters look inside of different words. And inshallah, may Allah make it easy on you. And I'll see you in the next lesson. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome back. We'll be continuing with Qaidatunuraniyah and how to read the Quran, inshallah. Please grab your notebooks and get ready. Now this lesson, lesson 3. You have a bunch of things on top of the letters. Now let's define what each thing we see is. Now first we have a mad. I'll draw it in red as it's seen here. A mad means that you extend a letter. Alright, now before I continue, let me say that these letters that you see here have a special rule. These letters are special characters found at the beginning of various surahs, and they have a special way to recite them that's different to the recitation of other letters in the Quran. Now, with that being said, in the case of these special letters, we do not understand the meaning of them. The Quran can be translated in a lot of areas, but these words, the actual meaning of them is unknown. Now, the mad on these letters is stretched for 6 harakat. So 6 harakat. A haraka is similar to a second, but not exactly. It's a length of time. So let's say 1 haraka, 2 harakat, 3 harakat, 4 harakat, and so on until you get to 6 harakat. So this mad is on top of a lam. So alif, lam, 6 harakat. Next, we have a mim. On top of the mim, it says it's like a little W. Now let's write that down. A little W sign is called a shadda. Shadda means to hold on tight. Shid, or to squeeze, or to emphasize. So a shadda is 2 harakat. Okay, so next we have an extension. It adds 1 extra haraka to a letter. So it makes it 1 haraka longer. So normally you would say ta. Ta is how a letter sounds without a haraka. If you're adding 1 haraka to it, it becomes ta. So from ta, it becomes ta. And same with ha. Ha. So now you've added 1 haraka to the original haraka, which is the letter by itself. At a shadda, it makes you hold onto a letter for 2 harakat. So, so whatever letter it's on top of, here it's on top of a mim. So we're going to hold onto it. Close your mouth on that letter's sound. So we have a mad, we have a shadda, and we have an extension. So a mad in this case of the special letters is 6 harakat. A shadda is 2 harakat. An extension is 1 harakat. So let's try saying these letters, these words. The first one is alif, lam, 6 harakat. And the mim has a shadda. So lam, lam, You have to shid on the mim for 2 harakat. Alif, lam. And then you have to say mim for 6 harakat. So again, all together. Alif, lam, mim. Next, we have alif, lam, mim, sad. Next, alif, lam, ra. Next, alif, lam, mim, ra. Next, kaf, ha, ya, ayn, sad. Next we have taha. Next is ta, sin, mim. Next we have ta, sin. Next, yasin. Next, sad. Next, hamim. Next, hamim, ayn, sin, qaf. Next, qaf. Next, noon. Then last we have alif, lam, mim, Allahu. I realized that I forgot to explain the last haraka. So it's written here. If you say this, it looks like a little sod. If you say this, it can cancel out the letter if you're reading from the word before and you don't stop. So alif, lam, mim. Allahu. You're skipping the alif and you're going straight to the lam. Why? Because it has this on the alif. It basically cancels out a letter. So, skip if continuing. Basically, you skip the letter if you're continuing from the previous word. So if I'm going straight from and I'm not taking a breath and I'm not stopping. If I was to stop, you'll pronounce the alif. So, let's say I said each word separately. Alif, lam, mim, Allahu. Now, if I'm continuing from the previous word, I know it's pretty hard to hear the difference, but you're going straight from the mim to the lam. You're skipping over the alif sound. Alif, lam, mim, Allahu. I didn't say it properly. Mim, Allahu. So you say mim Allah, mimal, 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 mimal. You're going straight to the lam. You're skipping the alif. So this says Allahu. But if you're going from the mim, you say mim Allahu. It's hard to understand it here. But as you go on, you'll see it in work in other places. And it'll make more sense. I know it's very hard for me to explain this point. You probably can't understand the way I'm saying it, or maybe you did understand. But with this example, it's kind of hard to see it in practice. You'll see it definitely in other places. And I'll remind you later on, inshallah, when I come across an example with this. So, inshallah, please practice these letters. Now, these ones, as I've said them basically, ignoring my mistakes, these are complete words that are in the Quran and they're read just as they are. No extra things to learn about them. Basically, this is it. You read them, that's how they sound. And it's good to practice with a qari, a reciter of the Quran. My personal favorite to listen to is someone like Mishari al-Afasi, Mishari Rashid al-Afasi. I like his recitation. And it's very clear and easy to follow along with. Okay, inshallah, that's basically the end of the third lesson. I'll see you inshallah in the next lesson. Bismillah. Next, inshallah, we're going to start to say different sounds on different letters. Okay, so basically, you have 3 different harakat we're learning today. First is a, next is e, and next is u. Now, for the first one, you'll see it above the letter. The second one, you'll see it below the letter. And the third one is above the letter. So, a, e, u. Now next we have ha, he, hu. So, fatha, kasra, dhamma. It changes the sound of each letter to be different. So, I'll go over it one more time with another letter. You have ja, jim, fatha, ja, jim, kasra, ji, jim, dhamma, ju, ja, ji, ju. Ha, fatha, ha, ha, kasra, hi, ha, dhamma, hu, ha, he, hu. Fatha, kasra, and dhamma. Fatha, kasra, dhamma. It keeps going in that same order. So, a, I, U, ha, he, hu, a, I, u, ha, hi, hu, gha, ghi, ghu, kha, khi, khu, qa, qi, qu, ka, ki, ku, ja, ji, ju, sha, shi, shu, ya, yi, yu, da, di, du, la, li, lu, na, ni, nu, ra, ri, ru, ta, ti, tu, da, di, du, ta, ti, tu, sa, si, su, sa, si, su, za, zi, zu, dha, dhi, dhu, dha, dhi, dhu, fa, thi, thu, fa, fi, fu, wa, wi, wu, ba, bi, bu, ma, mi, mu. And that's the end of that lesson. Just adding a fatha, a kasra, and a dhamma changes the sound of a letter. So again, ra, ri, ru. Please practice this, and inshallah I'll see you in the next lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is the start of the 5th lesson. We're going to do similar to the last lesson, but now we have, so instead of a, I, and u, we're doing a double line and a double waw. So it becomes an, in, un. This is called tanween. So fatahtan, this is called fatha, this is called kasra, this is called a dhamma, this is called a fatih, tan, kasra, tan, dhamma, tan. And this is called tanween, Tanwin, tanween. So I'll write it out for you. The last lesson I didn't write it out, so the last lesson was fatha, kasra, dhamma, and this lesson is called fatha, tan, kasra, tan, dhamma, tan. So tan is 2, fatha, tan, 2 fathas, kasra, tan, 2 kasras, dhamm, tan, 2 dhammas. So I'll say the sounds again on alif. I'll say the sounds again. An, in, un. Let's do another letter. Sa, san, sin, sun. فتحتان كسرتان ضمتان. فتحتان كسرتان ضمتان. Okay. San, sin, sun. An, in, un. Jan, jin, jun. I hope you've understood that. So let's start the lesson. Man, min, mun. Ban, bin, bun. Wan, win, wun. Fan, fin, fun. Than, thin, thun. Than, thin, thun. Dhon, dhin, ظن زن 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 سن 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 صن 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 تن 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 دن 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 طن 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 رن 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 نن 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 لن 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 ضن 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 ين 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 شن 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 جن 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 كن 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 قن 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 خن 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 غن 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 حن 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 عن عين عن هن 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 أن إن أن. And that's the end of that lesson. Next, inshallah, we'll be starting to put words together. I'll see you in the next lesson, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This lesson is number 6. And inshallah, we'll be putting basic words together. So, inshallah, before we start, I need to mention another punctuation point. If you see a circle, a small circle above a letter, this means that that letter is cancelled. So, if we look here, that's an a, fatha, a, noon, fatha, na, and this would normally be an extension of a letter. Ana. But because it has that on top of it, it means that that letter ana, this is cancelled. So it becomes ana. Now, that's the basic understanding of it. So if you find a small circle on top of any letter, so let's say it's on top of a, let's say it's on top of a ya, or it's on top of a waw, or it's on top of a alif, it will cancel that letter. Pretty simple. So inshallah, let's start the lesson. A, ba, dan, a, ha, dun, a, kha, dha, a, the, na, a, ma, ra, ana, bakhila, bararatin, جعل جمع حسد حشر خشي خلق خلق ذكر رفع رقبة سرور سفرات صحفا صمد طبق طبقا تون عبس عدل علق عمد عنبا غبرة فعل قترة قتل قدر قرئ قسم كبد كتب كسب كفر كفوا لبدا لمزة لهب مسد نخيرة وجد وسق وقب ولد وهب همزة هدى. That's the end of lesson 6. Please practice and inshallah see you in the next lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, this is lesson 7. And in lesson 7, we'll be doing more extensions. So previously, I showed you an extension. And it looked like this. Now here we're going to do another extension. And another extension. So if you look here, you'll see when reading the Quran, a small ya, a small alif, and a small waw. And they'll come with a partner. So ba fatha has a small alif with it. It means that you extend the fatha. A ba kasra with a ya, a small ya, means you have to extend the kasra. And a ba dhamma with a small waw means you have to extend the dhamma. So these are all extensions. And they'll add plus 1 haraka. So ba fatha is ba. But ba fatha with an extension is ba. And ba kasra with an extension is bi. Ba dhamma with an extension is bu. So ba, bi, bu. Inshallah you've understood. Now next we'll continue. Ya, yi, yu, ra, ri, ru, ma, mi, mu, la, li, lu, wa, wi, wu, na, ni, nu, a, i, u, ha, hi, hu, a, i, u, gha, ghi, ghu, ha, hi, hu, kha, khi, khu, ta, ti, tu, tha, thi, thu, ja, ji, ju, da, di, du, tha, thi, thu, za, zi, zu, sa, si, su, sha, shi, shu, sa, si, su, da, di, du, ta, ti, tu, dha, dhi, dhu, fa, fi, fu, qa, qi, qu, ka, ki, ku. That's the end of that lesson. Inshallah, I'll see you in the next lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wassalam ala Sayyidina Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Today's lesson, inshallah, will be extensions of alif, a waw, and a ya type. So, you'll see that an alif without a haraka, a waw that has like a cut off ha, and a ya that has like a cut off ha on top. So here, waw, and ya, they have that little symbol there. It extends the letter that is beforehand. So here, ba, but with this makes it fatha. Ba. It's similar to the previous lesson where you extend a letter with this. So tha. This one will become ba. And in this case, bu, bi, ta, tu, ti, tha, thu, thi, ha, hu, hi, kha, khu, khi, ra, ru, ri, za, zu, zi, ta, tu, ti, dha, dhu, dhi, fa, fu, fi, ha, hu, hi, ya, yu, yi, a, u, i, ja, ju, ji, da, du, di, tha, thu, thi, sa, su, si, sha, shu, shi, sa, su, si, da, du, di, a, u, i, gha, gu, ghi, qa, ku, qi, ka, ku, ki, la, lu, li, ma, mu, mi, na, nu, ni, wa, wu, wi. In this lesson, you see letters that are similar to the previous one. We're seeing waw and ya again with a sukoon. Now, the sukoon makes you stop on a letter. Different to the previous lesson, where it becomes an extension. If a dhamma, is followed by a waw with a sukoon, it becomes an extension of the dhamma. If the kasra is followed by a ya, it becomes an extension of a kasra. If a fatha is followed by an alif, it becomes an extension of the fatha. Now, differently, in this one, it's not followed by the same sounding syllable, if you want to call it a syllable. It's not followed like a waw is not followed by a dhamma. A dhamma is not followed by a waw. A fatha is not followed by an alif. And a kasra is not followed by a ya. So, now instead of extending a letter, you're stopping. So, ta, and then followed by a waw with a sukoon, becomes taw. You stop on the waw. The next one is ta followed by a ya with a sukoon, and you stop on the ya. So, tay. So, taw, tay. Next is thaw, thay. Daw, day. Thou, they. Raw, ray. Zaw, zay. Saw, say. Show, shay. Sow, soy. Dow, doy. Tow, toy. Though, thoy. Low, lay. No, nay. Ow, a. Bow, bay. Jow, jay. How, hay. Khow, khoy. Ow, ay. Ghow, ghoy. Fow, fay. Go, goy. Cow, kay. Mow, may. Wow, way. How, hey. Yo, yay. That's the end of this lesson. Inshallah, see you in the next lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, today is more reading practice. These words are a bit more complicated than the last examples you have seen. Alright, inshallah, before we start this lesson, there's something else I should show you, inshallah. Previously, we talked about a mad. A mad was an extension on the special letters. I'll show you the special letters so you can remember. So, for the special letters, the mad was 6 harakat. Now, normally the mad, depending on a few different characteristics, it can be 2, 4, or 6 harakat. 2, 4, or 6. With these ones, it's always 6. And normally, depending on a word, it's generally 2 or 4, and sometimes it can be 6. Say, some mads in some words can be 2, some can be 4, and some can be 6 harakat. With the special characters, they are always 6. And some of them can be either 4 or 2. And some of them have to be 4. So what I like to do is I keep a general rule that I make all my mads 4 harakat. So that way I don't have to think which ones are 2 and which ones are 4. I just keep them all at 4. And then the special rule that makes them 6, we already discussed that for the special characters like Yasin, Alif, Lam, Mim. Those have 6 harakat on their mads. But then there's also another one that becomes 6, and we'll talk about it later inshallah. But it's basically a mad followed by a shadda. That makes it 6. So, as a general rule, like I said, I like to keep my mads 4 harakat because I can't remember how to tell the difference between 2 harakat and 4 harakat mad. And I find it easier just to keep them all at 4. So, over here we have examples of mad. And like I said, I like to keep them at 4 harakat. So let's start the lesson inshallah. We're just putting together what we've learnt in the last lessons inshallah. So, amana, awa, aniyatin, ilafi, aina, bihi, jaa, harin, naran, khairun, Dawud, Ruwaidan, Radu, Rijalun, Maliki, Shay'in, Tagha, Taghaw, Tayran, Adin, Ala, Ainun, Fihi, Qala, Qawlun, Kana, Kaydan, Kayfa, Lawhin, Laysa, Malan, Khawfin, Ma'in, Waylun, Yawmin, Yarahu, Hasidin, Hafidhun, Dafiqin, Shahidin, Abidun, Ailan, Ghasiqin, Nasirin, Walidin, A'udhu, Akidun, Yakhafu, Yadahu, Yuqalu, Turaban, Hisaban, Subatan, سراجا سلام شدادا شرابا صوابا طعام عذابا عطاء غثاء كتابا كراما لباسا لسانا مآبا متاعا مطاع معاشا مفازا مهادا نباتا وفاقا ثبورا وجوه أثيم أليم بصيرا خبير رحيق شهيد عظيم قريبا كريم مجيد محيط نعيم يتيما يسيرا ذلك قريش عشاة موؤودة موضوعة موازينه يومئذ. That's the end of this lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, we'll be continuing the next lesson. This one is very easy. You're just stopping on the next letter. So, a, I, U, a, ir, ur, ath, if, uth, ath, إذ أذ أض إذ أذ أز إز أز أس إس أس أص إص أص أح إح أح أه إه أه أت إت أت أط إط أط أك إك أك أق إق أق أب إب أب أج إج أج أد إد أد أش إش أش أض إض أض أغ إغ أغ أر إر أر أف إف أف أم إم أو أو أي إي. That's the end of this lesson. Inshallah, I'll see you in the next lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This one is a long lesson, but it's just giving you examples of how to read other words with sukoon, inshallah. So, let's start. Remember that this is the sukoon. It's when you stop on a letter. So, أنت اهدي بعد بطش سعي كنت لست قرآن بردا مريات ارجع إربتي مصر قطر قرطاس مرصادا فرقات. This is a skipped letter, so you skipped from the noon to the ra. You skip this letter. We talked about that before. Ma ni r ta da manir ta da ارحم، ارتبتم. أنذر، خير، فاصبر، صبرا، يسير، غلبا، فصل، قدحا، قضبا، كأسا، كدحا، لغوا، مسك، نخلا، نشطا، نفس، نقعا، يسرا، أبقى، عدن، عشر، يسعى، يتلو، يدعو، تجري، يهدي، يغني، أمهل، اقرأ. Another letter that skipped because of this. فر goes straight from the fa to ra. فارغب، فانصب، وانحر، من هاد، من علق، أنعمت، من آمن، من خلاف، ألهام، أنشر، أنقض، دمدم، عسعس، أعبد، نعبد، يخرج، يحسب، يشرب، يشهد، ترهق، تعرف، أقسم، يبدئ، دنيا، قنوان، صنوان، بنيان، حشرت، سطحت، كشطت، نشرت، بلران، أثرنا، وسطنا. فرغت، تأتون، يسقون، يفعلون، يعملون، يعلمون، يضحكون، يكسبون، يدخلون، ينظرون. رأي، من راق، أنذرنا، أنزلنا، خلقنا، رفعنا، وضعنا، نطفة، عبرة، زجرة، تذكرة، مسفرة، مؤصدة، ما يشاء، استطعت، شهر، فجر، قدر، زكاة، صلاة، بالغه، ممنون، محفوظ، نساء، تون، مسرورا، ماء، أبوابا، مجراها، أزواجا، أشتاتا، إطعام، أعنابا، أفواجا، ألفافا، قرآنا، الحمد، اهدنا، والفتح، والعصر، من المعصرات، مع العسر، ما القارعة، وإذا الموءودة، ينظر المرء، كالفراش المبثوث، كالعهن منفوش ليلة القدر أخرجت الأرض من أهل الكتاب عند ذي العرش يمنعون الماعون وهو الغفور الودود ذو العرش المجيد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في أحسن تقويم أعطيناك الكوثر الآن. That's the end of this lesson. Inshallah, see you in the next lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In this lesson, we'll be going over a shadda again. So, a shadda, if you remember, it emphasizes a word. So, you hold on to it for 2 harakat. Abba, ibba, ubba, atta, itta, utta, atha, itha, utha, ajja, idja, ujja, aha, iha, uha, akha, ikha, ukha, adda, idda, udda, adda, idda, udda, arra, irra, urra, azza, izza, uzza, assa, issa, ussa, asha, isha, usha, assa, issa, ussa, adda, idda, udda. That's the end of this lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, see you in the next lesson. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wa salatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Welcome back. Inshallah, we'll be going through a lesson that focuses on words with shadda. So, burriza, hussila, صدق عدل قدر كذب نعم يظن يحض جنة ثم قوة كرة سعرت قدمت كذبت زوجت سجرت فجرت سيرت عطلت كورت أيديهن عليهن نيسرهم البينة قيمة عشية مذكر أيان إياك تجلى إياي يصلون على النبي عدو تولى توابا فجاجا غساقا مفر أذل والمعتر ممددة مكرمة لا تأمنا والسماء والترائب والناشطات والنازعات والسابحات فالسابقات فالمدبرات أعجمي وعربي فمهل الكافرين بالخنس الجوار الكنس اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. And that's the end of this lesson. May Allah make it easy on you to learn how to read the Quran. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah we'll be reading these words. They're a bit more harder to say. Marru, Rabbi, Muddat, Huqqat, Watabba, Tabbat, Ahattu, Musamman, Annamunna, والصبح والشمس فطل في الحج سامري بمصرجية والتين والزيتون سجيل سجين في اليم إن الجنة لحب الخير إذا السماء انشقت ما الطارق النجم الثاقب من شر الوسواس الخناس. And that's the end of this lesson. Inshallah, see you in the next lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This lesson is short, but it gives examples of how one shadda is followed by another shadda and how it sounds. So, yazakka, yazakka. So you go straight from the za to the ka. Yazakka, zakka, zakka, yazakka. يذكر المدثر المزمل عليين عليون إن الذين إلا الذين من شر النفاثات فعال لما يريد. That's the end of this lesson. Inshallah, see you in the next lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In today's lesson, inshallah, we'll be going over the special mad I was talking about with 6 harakat. So first we have a mad followed by a shadda. So because there is a shadda after the mad has to be 6 harakat. Okay? So that is basically the concept, that you have to be able to read a mad for this long. You have to work on your breathing to be able to say a letter for this long. Some people may struggle with it, but inshallah with practice you'll be able to do it. And if you learn where to stop before you say the letter, before you say the word, you might be able to stop a few words before, get a new breath and continue, just so you can say this word with the proper extension of mad. So the first example is ضالا. So remember, we're saying all these mads are going to be 6 harakat because after them is a shadda. Mad, shadda. Mad, shadda. He is a mad and a shadda. Mad, shadda. Mad, shadda. Mad, shadda. Mad, shadda. Okay. ضالا دابة حاجك حاجوك لضالون ولا الضالين أتحاجوني ولا تحاضون والصافات مضار جاءت الصاخة ولا جان فإذا جاءت الطامة الكبرى سوافا. That's the end of this lesson. Inshallah, see you in the next lesson. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the final lesson of the book. This lesson teaches you how to stop at the end of a sentence or in the middle of a sentence. When you stop in Arabic at the end of a word, no matter what it says at the end of the word, when you're stopping, it changes to be a sukoon, except when you say fatahtan. Fatahtan becomes a fatha. Rahimi becomes rahim. Rajimi becomes rajim when you stop. And yarahu becomes yarah. Yarahu becomes yarah. Sadidin becomes sadid. Rabbika becomes rabbik. Allahi becomes Allah. Inshallah, you understand the point. Now let's go through these examples, and we're gonna stop on the last letter and it changes to something different. So أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم جزاء ملائكة إنا أعطينا إلينا إيابهم خيرا يره شرا يره ميقاتا يوم فمن يعمل من نصير من ماء صديد من ربك رسول من الله صحفا مطهرة صفا لا يتكلمون قلوب يومئذ واجفة أبصارها سراجا وهاجا وأنزلنا أكلا لما وتحبون المال حبا جما عاد الأولى لمزة الذي فخورا الذين قدير الذي نوح ابنه لينبذن من بعد من بين الصلب بالناصفة بذنبهم مطهرة بأيدي سفرة كرام بررة هم فيها لكم دينكم ولي دين إن ربهم بهم ترميهم بحجارة لهم ما يشاءون مما اللهم I'm actually not sure about the last one. I'm sure I've made mistakes. Alhamdulillah. That's basically a quick rundown of Qaidatunuraniyah. I have skipped a few things that I do not know how to teach. So I'm basically going to just leave it because I don't know how to teach every single thing that's mentioned in this book. So an example of something that's mentioned here is Mim Sakina. There's rules of Nun Sakina, Mim Sakina, and a few other things that I do not know how to teach. I thought I'll do this anyway and show you the basic way of reading Quran. Inshallah, I hope this has been beneficial to my brothers and sisters. Inshallah, you continue on your journey to learning how to read the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Jazakumullah khairan for your time. May Allah reward you for your effort. I hope that this is beneficial. I hope that this is useful. Any mistakes are from myself, and anything correct I say is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I know I've made a lot of mistakes while doing this, but alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. That's basically the end of the book. After that, it just has an example of Surah Al-Fatiha and the last three surah of the Quran. So inshallah, we'll read through it. So, Surah Al-Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. That ends the book Qaidatunuraniyah. I know I have skipped through a lot of things and I rushed through the book. I just wanted to make the videos as short as possible and straight to the point, inshallah. There are a lot of things I don't know how to teach that are mentioned that are supposed to be taught along with each lesson. But I don't know how to teach certain things and I don't know how to put certain things into words. So please forgive me for skipping over some stuff. But I hope that what I have said is of benefit to you, and inshallah, if you knew nothing, now you know something. And it will help you in your journey to learning the Quran, bi'idhnillah. And don't forget, there are a few more things that you need to learn to be able to read properly. Bi'idhnillah, with another teacher, maybe online, but hopefully in person, you can go and learn how to read Quran from someone that knows more than me and knows how to teach better, inshallah. Inshallah, you benefit. Inshallah, you can share them, let people learn how to read Quran at a minimum level. And inshallah, your knowledge increases. Like we said at the beginning of the book, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran, in Surah Taha, ayah 114. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقُرْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. Say, O Allah, increase my knowledge. And again, there is a hadith. It says, سَلُوا اللَّهُ عِلْمًا نَافِعًا وَتَعُوذُوا بِاللَّهِ مِنْ عِلْمٍ لَا يَنْفَعًا. Ask Allah for beneficial knowledge and seek refuge in Allah from knowledge that will not benefit. Jazakumullah khairan for your time, for your patience. And may Allah reward you for coming this far. And inshallah, you continue your journey on learning the glorious Quran. May Allah make it easy for you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.